units for really if he can, if mOOnGLaDe can stay away and like find an answer to these firestorms, it could be very useful. There was a changeling with the army there for the Protoss player, so nice scouting as always by mOOnGLaDe, knowing what finding out what he needs to from his opponent. He did scout all of the base for the Protoss player, so he knows that he knows what's coming basically. So they'll both be prepared for it.
Yeah, good build up of units here early on for us. He does have those Templar out, and they have enough mana for Psystorm. But he's going to get caught out by this Roach Ball. He's running over a grid of roaches, caught in the middle there. He can't storm his own army. He's forced to storm himself. I don't know if I agree with that decision. Nice second storm on those roaches, but they have a lot of hit points to work through, and those roaches going to work on those Templars who are out of mana. They should switch to the gateway units now, but another wave of roaches working on the back flank of these Az's army there, so he was completely caught out by that really, really nice positioning of those burrowed roaches. Once again, seeing great burrow usage from mOOnGLaDe, and this is the risk of this build of going fast into Templar Archives. You don't get an observer online, so you can have some burrow abuse, which is exactly what mOOnGLaDe did. Now we're seeing that robotics facility come online. Something I'd like to see mOOnGLaDe do, he should research the transporting of overlords, because with this strong, well, now that Az is broken it's not as strong, but with these strong wall-ins Az has been using, he's committing himself to his front, and a Doom Drop in his back. We are seeing a Scouting Overlord, for instance, going to Az's base. A Doom Drop could really, on either side, bring a ton of units into the front and then catch his army off position, and then a secondary wave could break his front. But this is mOOnGLaDe we're talking about, so I'm sure he's got it all covered. But no, we are seeing this Scouting Overlord picking up all the information that mOOnGLaDe needs here, seeing all these tech buildings, realizing the robotics base on the way, seeing the number of gateways, so this is all fantastic information. Whereas Az is a little in the dark about the composition of mOOnGLaDe's units and tech here, simply because he went for that fast Templar Archives, which does give him that advantage on the ground, but he has no information to go on, and not until this observer gets online will he start to see what's going on. Meanwhile, mOOnGLaDe has his third base online, macroing up really nice, lots of creep coming on, almost pulling off a contain here for Az, boxing him in for 2 bases, not going in for the kill here, happy to contain him, but Az has built up a huge force here.
Yeah, I would like to see. I mean, he had that robotics facility on so late though, but some Colossi could really go a long way for this army. But as it is, there's just so many roaches, so many Hydras basically scouring the whole map. He needs more observers all over the place just to make sure to go with see what's going on here. And he will fall behind in macro unless he makes something happen quite soon, because he's pushing out now though, so he is going to engage.
Yeah, we are seeing a huge line of roaches there, and really nice initial storms there by Az. This is his bread and butter. This is what Az has been so strong throughout the tournament with, especially against Zergs, these high storms, catching mOOnGLaDe off guard, but mOOnGLaDe retreating, coming back in now, looking to flank and get as close in as possible so these storms can't do too much damage, but they are catching the back rows pretty nicely. These roaches going to work on these lines of units here from Az. He's forced to retreat, having played his trump card, which were those Psystorms. More units being warped in, but mOOnGLaDe once again committing to this push, interested in getting in. They're so bunched. A Psystorm now would be so devastating, but of course their energy has been spent. Retreating to this double cannon line. These roaches can absorb the shots, but mOOnGLaDe not interested in pushing right now, going back to his contain position, drawing them out, once again catching a few Stalkers as they try to push back out, just really slamming the door shut on Az, not letting him out of his base. And Az bringing online a Warp Prism. So once again, we may see some Zealot drops and some Warp-ins all over the map to try and counter this really strong macro of that mOOnGLaDe's going on. No, we are seeing a defensive play, picking up a couple of probes here. So it looks like he's going to take the island expansion, which is a testament to just how well mOOnGLaDe's contain has been working. That Protoss is forced to take the island expansion, which is good and can be a strong position for them to take. But mOOnGLaDe dropping some cheeky creep immediately on the ball with the scouting and realizing what's up. Now, once again, that transport would have come in pretty handy, because he could just drop a few roaches and clean that up. But no, so far mOOnGLaDe's contain is really nice. He needs to spread a little bit more creep after having those observers snipe the tumors, but it's just a really strong position for mOOnGLaDe, and I think he's in control of this game.
Yeah, just as was putting up that expansion on the top, mOOnGLaDe released another expansion down the bottom there. So 1-for-1 with Az the whole way through, and fantastic play by mOOnGLaDe just to keep him really locked down, just keep him on the back foot. and doing a lot better job of really nullifying the Psystorm presence that's been around for the last couple of games. There are a couple of Immortals now being built for as yeah, so we'll have to see how that plays out. There's once again changelings in the main Protoss army, so he knows exactly what's going on there. So once again, a fantastic play. And as really also dropping another expansion on the other island one too that mOOnGLaDe does not know about. So sneaky there by Az. I like that. He needs to do something really to change this up.
Yeah, spreading out quite a few probes, trying to take this 3 o'clock as well as the island expansion, so he's really macroing up. But look at mOOnGLaDe's scouting, it's just so top-notch. He's just sending overlords all over the map. 3 overlords going to drop creep at those positions, so he's going to see these island expansions and going to catch this bottom right one. This is very weak. I mean, it's just right now mOOnGLaDe basically owns the top half of the map, and he's moving in once again with his big ball of roaches and hydras. Az's army a little bit delayed there. He's going to get these cannons basically for free, but it does mean that Az's Stalkers can fight from this cliff and storm from that cliff. This cliff is the detriment of Lost Temple for non-Protoss players, because, you know, this cliff is good for siege tanks from a Terran point of view, but for High Templars standing amongst there, especially in a cannon position, they can just drop storms all day, drop their storm, run away, drop their storm, run away, and it becomes a serious problem for advancing units to attack. This just becomes the hallway of death for attacking units with that many Psystorms. Interestingly, though, we haven't seen Kadarian Amulet come online for Az. It would be really good for him to bring that online, simply because it means that his High Templars would spawn with enough energy to cast Psystorm. Like, you see these Templars being warped in do not have the energy for Psystorm, especially with mOOnGLaDe pushing in so violently all the time that you would imagine that he's going to need a few warp-in Templars